What up, motherfuckers? Welcome back to another episode of the Night Trap Podcast. I just wanted to have a quick message before we get into our interview here. But Happy New Year, happy everything. It's going to be my birthday this month, so we'll be celebrating that. But I just wanted to let you guys know, sorry for the delay on everything because it's been crazy. You know, people dealing with COVID, people dealing with all kinds of illnesses and stuff. We are gonna have more episodes, more fun this year. Hopefully try to do some episodes outside of the studio too. Maybe have some live performances and stuff like that. So hopefully everything goes great. This interview that I did with Tony Ramirez was before the Spider-Man movie came out even. So I reserved it until later on because it didn't have any Christmas themes or anything like that. But so if it sounds old what we're talking about, like, you know, like, oh, are you excited for a Spider-Man movie? It's because of that. But it's still pretty relevant. It's pretty cool. I had fun with him. We talked video games. We talked everything. You'll see right now. But stay tuned. We'll have more stuff coming on. Dr. Pong will be here. Jacob will be here, the witch, Terror, Fish, everybody. So thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you right away. So stay tuned. Yo, what up, motherfuckers? Welcome back. I was about to say the motherfucker, but welcome back to another episode of Night Trap Podcast. Today, it's a very special episode of Night Trap. Another day, another interview. So, I know that I've been asking a lot of people to do interviews with me, but I am picking pretty much the best people, and I say the best people because they're the ones that actually show up. So my special guest. Who are you? What do you do?
My name is Tony Ramirez. I'm a local musician, educator, gamer, tech head, just all around creator of things.
But you do have, more importantly, because I don't think that I just invited like some random. You do have music on Spotify and stuff like that. So you do take it seriously.
Yeah, no, very much. Music's always been a big part of my life ever since I was little. I tell people my journey started off when I was about 10. My dad just showed up home with a guitar one day and like, here we go, have fun. I think
you figured it out by yourself?
Yeah, and I think that's kind of one of the things I always tell people is like, I think my dad just thought I needed a hobby or something, so he gave me that. But I was always the kid that like just wanted to figure out how shit worked. So I was the kid that like took apart the VCR to see how the inside would go and this and that. So when I got my hands on the guitar, it was the same shit. I had to go through it and figure out, all right, what makes this sound? How do I do this and that? And I just kind of started from there. And I tell like my students now, like YouTube wasn't around when we were like little.
There was no tutorial.
Yeah, exactly. But I think Ultimate Guitar was like in its infancy, like for all those like guitar tabs and stuff like that.
Well, I had I don't know if you remember the Mexican ones, the Toca Todo.
Oh yeah. There was one too that I would always find in Spanish too, but I forget what it's called.
But it just had like it basically had letters or numbers, and then those letters came with like a key that said, okay, so letter A is like this chord.
Oh, see, yeah. And you would go through them from there.
So it would have the lyrics and then just the letters underneath the lyrics, so that you could be like, oh, okay.
Exactly.
Because that's how I learned to play a flute or the recorder.
Yeah. You just have the little things there.
Yeah, I was playing fucking the Beatles. I remember, and then now that I have my daughter, she had started with the recorder, and I'm like, man, that shit's annoying.
You're like, oh, bro, my poor parents.
I fucking hate the recorder. What fucking record has a recorder in it?
Ah, dude, it's crazy. You know what? Just use the big ass recorders in it. The theme for The Mandalorian. That big.
Well, but that sounds different though.
Oh yeah, but
not like that shitty fucking $5 shit, whatever.
Yeah, bro.
I fucking hate that. And then like remember like when kids barely get it, they like blow on it like super hard.
Everyone's just trying to play hot cross buns, bro.
I'm John Cena!
No, but that's awesome because my dad is actually a musician, and he pretty much plays everything too.
Oh,
so he did want us to just be musicians.
Yeah.
In one way or another.
To at least have that experience or that exposure. To
So your dad wasn't a musician?
No, there's very few musicians in my family, at least in my immediate family. I think later on we kind of figured out like, oh, well, this cousin from over here in my mom's side and this and that. A couple jammers here and there, but in my immediate family, no, there was no like heavy influence to like for me to see other musicians. It just kind of fell in.
So when you said that this was when you were 10 years old.
Yeah.
So what kind of music did you like when you were 10 years old?
So that circled back to my dad. When my parents split, we would go to my grandma's that lived out in Fabens all the time because that's where my dad was at too. Mm-hmm. So we would take these trips here from the east side of El Paso to the west to Fabens, and it's like a 20-minute, 25-minute drive. So my dad would always have the same like 4 or 5 CDs just on a loop, and that's kind of what I grew up with and what kind of helped mold the sounds that I would later want to recreate and all that. So my biggest ones from there were gonna be Pearl Jam, Audioslave, Santana, Metallica, and Guns N' Roses. Those were like the big 5.
I didn't want to be like fucking like a racist or anything. I mean, I'm Mexican. I'm Mexican, so don't worry. I mean, it's obvious. But because like I thought you were gonna say like Los Bukis.
Oh yeah, no.
Fucking Bronco. I mean, they're not bad musicians. They're good musicians.
Yeah,
they're musicians.
Yeah, but it was
I always think it's the you know that especially in those times.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Mexicans were listening to.
Yeah, no, it was a lot, and a lot of my, at least from that side, like we're not super like heavy Mexican music influenced.
No, so your dad is young.
Yeah, he's I think he's just about to turn 50, if not he just did.
Yeah, because if he liked Pearl Jam and all those, so he was pretty much basically a teenager, maybe like in the 90s and shit, or not a teenager, but
he was probably in his early
20s.
Yeah, late 20s, early 30s, in the 90s. Well, yeah, like mid 20s.
Yeah, because my dad, what he used to do was like Bob Dylan, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
So he's older, but he did listen like later on. Like he kept moving on. He has a broad range of fucking music. Nice. So he goes from like Fito Páez, fucking like to Cuban music.
Oh, that's cool.
To like jazz, and he's the one that showed me a lot of my influence. And what I liked about my dad, and I don't know if your dad did this with you, but what I liked about my dad was that he would always like if I started like liking punk rock, he would try to find something that he liked that was similar to punk rock to show it to me.
That's cool.
So for example, like when I was like really into punk rock, like Sex Pistols and the Ramones and like shit like that, he went like, well, you know where punk rock started? It was from like the Velvet Underground and the Jam.
Yeah.
And he gave me a cassette of the Jam, and I was like, oh shit, these guys are.
You get to see like.
They weren't like really punk, but that's where you started hearing like that fast, kind of like yelly stuff or whatever. And I was like, that's fucking awesome. So I don't know if your dad ever just gave you like music like that, or you just took the music.
Yeah, I just kind of rolled with it. I literally did just like. I remember one time too, super specifically. He bought one of the most the Breaking Benjamin album. I forget which one it was. One with the angel wings on the album cover.
What is it called?
Phobia.
Phobia. Yeah. With PH.
Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. So he had like just bought it, and I remember like it was that same day, and I was about to leave his apartment. He was gonna take us back to my mom's, and I was like, hey, can I have this? Yeah, okay. I remember specifically he was just kind of like, yeah, just fucking take it.
Like, goddamn, I haven't even listened to it.
Yeah, he's like, I just bought that.
It's not even open yet.
Yeah. Well, little things like that, and he kind of kept rolling with it with the times too. So when the later 2000s music started coming out, like Breaking Benjamin or like the newer Linkin Park, stuff like that, like it was always something that we would just kind of have rolling on. We would always just listen to.
So he was mostly a rock guy.
Yeah, for the most part. I don't really think he put on too much else. At least not when we were around with this and that,
So did you stay with pretty much basically like that kind of music, or did you move on to other stuff? Because I know like a lot of the people that started liking like kind of like the 90s, because I have another friend coincidentally called Tony. coincidentally he like wears like you wear.
Yeah.
I
we all get the same flannels from Walmart, bro.
I do think that you guys are from the same about the same age though. But and he's like really into Pearl Jam and stuff. But he's like that, and when we, cause he was in a band with me and my cousin, cover band, but my band was pop punk covers.
Nice.
So Blink,
Yeah.
Taking Back Sunday, My Chemical, and he hadn't really listened to any of those.
Oh, okay.
But when we were showing him so that he could play with us, he was like really starting to like that kind of like we kind of forced him to move on from like what he was his comfortable zone. So like I want to know if you moved on too, or not move on like in the sense like leaving everything behind, but
just to kind of broaden the
discover.
Yeah. And it's funny that you say it like that too, because literally like about a couple years ago, I did like a pop punk cover band with some of my friends, and we were just kind of doing this or that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's only because I only like certain bands like Fall Out Boy, Panic, Blink, all that stuff too.
Fall Out Boy, what? Like early Fall Out Boy?
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, I hate like the later Fall Out Boy and shit.
Yeah, either way. But like I remember like MCR is a big thing of it, but I never actually listened to MCR like when I was growing up. I never hit like that emo phase of it all, so I didn't really get into their side of it. But when I started learning the songs for that band, I was like, holy shit, like this is really good stuff. And I had heard a couple of them, but I never like rolled with it. Like there wasn't like an album that I had on repeat or anything back then. So it was cool to like rediscover all that. And then I went to school for music. I was doing all this and that. Mm-hmm. So rock was always my main thing. You know, you have to broaden your horizon. You have to take all the jazz classes. You have to learn this and that. But I think the one that I kind of branched out the most onto was just like more acoustic kind of stuff. Okay. So a little bit more on the pop side. And I started kind of following, I'm trying to think like where it fell in, like where I started with it. But one of my biggest ones right now too is Ed Sheeran, because the way he writes is super cool, and the way he would do his live shows was like crazy. For the last 4 or 5 years, it's just him on that stage selling out arenas.
Like he fucking shit his pants.
He has a loop pedal. All his songs are written so that he can just loop them.
Because it's easy. That's what I've told. Because my daughter hates Ed Sheeran, but it's because she's in that stage of you know, the teenagedom where it's like, I fucking hate that shit. Like I only like what I like. Yeah. Whatever. But I tell her, I was like, hey, you know what? Like he might not be like the best looking guy or whatever, but he knows the formula for pop music.
Oh yeah.
Because even the songs that he writes for other people, they're really catchy. Yeah. And I told, because I saw him, I don't know if you saw him on the Saturday Night Live like 2 weeks ago, I think. And I had never heard those songs that he played, but I had him in my head afterwards because I was like, this fucker knows how to fucking get your brain and you know, like, and Ed Sheeran is pretty good. I do like him. I don't know if you grew up with, you know, because you're talking about acoustic, and I know that you said like you didn't really get into the emo, but Chris Caraba from Dashboard Confessional,
yeah,
he was really huge with the acoustic stuff, and I discovered him with the Unplugged. I didn't even discover his CDs. So the Unplugged to me was like, all these kids know the words to all this shit, because like that was one of the criticisms of that CD. Yeah, that you could hear the crowd too much. And I'm like, that's a good thing.
Why would you complain about that?
It's like, it's a good thing. Like, they know the fucking song.
You see the influence, yeah.
And then from there, I was like, well, let me listen to the actual recording.
Yeah.
So, like, there was another guy, Never Shout Never.
Yeah,
he kind of, like, fucking fell on the wayside. He started doing, like, weird shit. Yeah. But at the beginning, he was kind of, like, you know, one of the good ones. And I don't know if you know this other guy, which he recorded the whole, I think it was, like, the whole first record. All by himself. Drums, bass, guitar, vocals, backups. He basically like just put himself in a room like this for like 3 months. He didn't get out, and he just recorded the whole CD. Nice. And, the Rocket Summer is his name.
Rocket Summer.
But you should, if you haven't, you should listen to his first CD. He just did it all by himself, and it's great. And it's like a pop record too, and it reminds me a lot of like that kind of that Ed Sheeran. not musically like they are alike,
Yeah.
but kind of like the way they write, like the catchy,
Yeah.
you know, the sentimental stuff. Because
Yeah,
I know
it
that
kinda
Ed
works.
Sheeran does a lot of sentimental stuff.
Yeah, there's lots of different ones.
A lot of love stuff. And,
Yeah. Well, that's the other side of Ed too, and that's kind of where the other reason I fell in was. Everybody knows like Thinking Out Loud and Perfect, like the love songs and all that. But this like
The
this
shape
little
of
ginger like raps, bro. Like he goes and he does all these crazy things, and then with the loops, he just built it on. Like he did a collaboration album a couple years back too, and like he has a song with Eminem and 50 Cent. Like they're just
Oh, yeah, I
man. Like
remember that.
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's because he knows how to write music.
Yeah.
Like it comes to the bottom of it. Maybe he just like studied music all his life. Like,
Yeah.
and when I say studied, it's not like reading books and shit. It's more of just practicing it
Yeah.
and listening to
Being
it.
out there and experiencing it, and learning it, playing it.
Because that's what I want to do. At me as a drummer, I've always looked more into freelance drumming because those drummers are more, you know, like they're broad with their stuff.
Yeah.
So one of the most famous drummers that like everybody knows but nobody knows, basically, because everybody knows because they've heard him and they don't even realize that they're hearing him.
Right.
It's Josh Freese. Josh Freese is a drummer for the Vandals,
Okay.
which is just a punk band, but he has done drums for Breaking Benjamin, for Korn, for A Perfect Circle,
Ah, shit.
for like Tool filling in,
Uh-huh.
for Blink. Like he goes all over for Evanescence.
That's crazy.
Anybody that fucking hires him, like if you look at the liner notes, it'll
Yeah.
say like drums by Josh Freese, and you didn't even know. You just thought like, oh, it's the drummer for
Yeah.
Evanescence, it's the drummer for this, but he plays everything, like
That's it.
from doing double pedal metal to doing like rock alternative to doing punk rock,
Uh-huh.
and he's an amazing guy. And I'm telling you, like he probably did Phobia,
Yeah.
Breaking Benjamin, and you didn't even realize it.
That's wild.
Because he doesn't put himself out there
Yeah, he
like
just
Josh
goes-
Freese, look, it's me, Josh Freese. He's just like, yeah, I'll play it. Like, pay me and I'll play it.
Yeah.
And I've always looked into doing that,
That's
being a drummer for hire
Uh-huh.
kind of thing. But my personality is different from Josh Freese's in the way that I want to be noticed, because like usually bassists and drummers
Uh-huh.
are the ones like in the back.
Yeah.
Unless you have a personality, then
Yeah.
you're up front. Like unless you're Travis Barker, you know you're up front. Unless you're Flea from Red Hot Chili
Yeah,
Peppers,
shit.
people know who you are. You know, Les Claypool. But I have a personality, so when I'm playing live, I'm trying to do shit.
Yeah, you want to be there. You're a part of it. Yeah.
So like I want to be like super energetic, fucking dude, so that they're like, holy shit, like who's the drummer?
Yeah.
So I don't know how your shows are. I know you do a lot of acoustic stuff.
Uh-huh.
So the way you write, is it like more like that? Like Ed Sheeran, you're trying to be more pop, you're trying to be more rock, what is it?
They all kind of fall in, and it really just depends on, I guess, the message that I'm putting out for that specific song. So, like, literally just the other day, I had been kind of writer's block for a while, but I wrote like 3 songs the other night, at
Mhm.
least the beginnings of them. Like, that's usually the good foundation. If I can have a verse, pre-chorus, chorus, that's usually 80% of the song already done. So it depends on just like the message that I'm writing out. So the acoustic stuff, it's really easy to just kind of like strum out those light chords, give it that nice little pop feel, just kind of make it more sentimental. But for everything else that I play, you'll start hearing those smaller influences come out, where you'll hear a little bit of like the punk stuff, you'll hear a little bit of the alternative rock, even some like metal. Like it just kind of where the song fits.
So however it's falling into place.
Yeah.
You're just. So do you do the pop formula, the verse chorus, bridge,
Yeah.
chorus?
That's usually the main thing that'll follow through, and then of course you want to try and, you know, break a little bit of it so it's not exactly the same each time. So like the second verse has, you know, a different melody, or the guitar riff's slightly different. There's extra things, and it's all about layering. You know, like you add in a synth here, or you take a guitar part in here, but you add it over here. It's just all these different things that kind of help build it up. But it usually follows that same pattern.
Did you ever notice, like, there was a point in time, you know, like, especially with, like, pop punk, like Blink and stuff, but there was it was that formula. So it was like the verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. But it started going into like verse, chorus, bridge, breakdown.
Yeah.
Like they just added breakdowns out of nowhere.
Yeah, you start throwing in guitar solo, little thing.
Yeah, and it's just like, what the hell's happening? Like, so everything had a breakdown, and I remember that point in time too, because we started adding like breakdowns. And shit.
Yeah.
Like, why do I put a breakdown here? Oh, fuck. Just like put it all slow and shit, but it's heavier. For whatever reason, a breakdown somehow is slower but heavier.
Yeah, and you just
at
kind
the same time. But that's fucking hilarious. I was thinking about it right now when I was talking about the formula. I was like, because we always did. So let me tell you the way that I wrote music with as a drummer, so that you tell me how you kind of like write it. But me as a drummer, I always wanted to be a guitarist, but never really had like the patience to do it or whatever it is. I don't even know how I learned to play drums. I think I just did it by myself because that's literally the only instrument my dad doesn't play. So he was like, yeah, you're on your own with this one, you know, kind of. And I was like, all right. So when I was starting to write drums, so basically it was me and the guitarist, because I think that the guitar is one of the most important things, like when you're writing a song.
Yeah.
So I would kind of sound like, hey, what if you do this? What if you do that? But we would always start kind of like with a chorus that we thought was kind of catchy. So we would always do that demo of like, okay, so this is the chorus. We really like it, like we really do think it's like kind of catchy or whatever. And then once we did the chorus, we would move in like, okay, so how do we do the chorus simpler so that it matches like the so that the verse matches the chorus. Kind of just do the verse a little simpler, a little different, whatever. And then we would write the verses.
Yeah.
And then sometimes the lyrics, I already had like a fucking folder full of lyrics.
Just like,
and I was like, which one fits, or whatever.
Yeah, which one can I adapt?
And then, I would just change words here, change like a fucking verse here, whatever, just so that it would fit.
Yeah.
And then we would just move on from there, kind of practicing that verse chorus. And then from there, it would be like, what if there was a breakdown? And then building from there, okay, what if we have like backup vocals here? Or in punk rock, we call them like gang vocals when you hear the other guys fucking singing. So we would do that shit like, well, we add this here. And then when we were in the studio, we would add more shit sometimes. Like when we're listening, once you're listening, you're like, it's missing something.
Yeah.
So let's do this shit here, let's do this shit there. So I don't know how because you're by yourself.
Yeah.
So how do you, start kind of like the skeleton of it? Do you write the lyrics first? Do you like write the music first? What do you do?
Usually it's the guitar part that comes first. Every now and then I'll get just like a little snippet of like a line or two from lyrics. But usually it's just me fiddling around with the guitar, and I'll find a chord I like or a small riff, and I'll just kind of roll with that. I've been doing trying to make it a habit where as soon as I find something I like, I bust out my phone and just record like a quick video of me playing it so I don't forget it. So I just have like a bunch of little 20-30 second clips on my phone of just small guitar riffs, or if I'll hear a vocal melody in my head, I'll just kind of sing it out real quick, and if it's like super cheap, just so I can have the idea of where the notes are.
Just to get an idea of of how it's gonna go or whatever. Sorry, my daughter is asking for the password of the Wi-Fi. Sorry.
You're good, but Wi-Fi supported. But yeah,
for her it is, because then she'll be bored. She'll be fucking knocking on the door.
Yeah, but it usually starts there with the guitar part, and then I'll just kind of work my way around it from there. I have, exactly like you said, I have like a folder of a bunch of lyrics, and I have lyrics, bro. I was just going over the other day with my bassist friend, like, I have like handwritten lyrics on paper from like high school, so like I have
from
like
high school
paper, like it's like all yellow and shit now because of
a
how
fucking
old
song called Period. About a women's period.
Jesus.
No, but it was because I had this friend. I'm gonna say her name. She fucking, God knows where she is.
Yeah.
But Gabby, and she was just like my friend, like really good friend. We were really connected on Blink and shit like that.
Yeah.
But she was always like really talkative, and she was always telling me about bands. Oh, have you heard of this Taking Back Sunday? Have you heard of this when we were in high school?
Yeah.
And one day she didn't want to talk. She was just being fucking shit. And I was like, fuck, man, like, what's wrong with you? And she just went like, I'm on my period, like, just leave me the fuck alone. And I remember I was like, fucking idea for a song, and like,
shit.
I fucking wrote like a whole song with verse and chorus, and I kind of knew how it was gonna go, but I didn't really have a band at those points. But I had an idea.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I wrote a song for you, and I fucking gave it to her. And literally, I remember like in the title where you put the title or whatever on the top, I just put like a big fucking like 3D period, like
Just
like
yeah.
But she fucking loved that shit. She's like, oh my god, this is awesome. Because it wasn't like offensive or anything.
Yeah,
it was more of like, oh man, like I want to talk to you and you're like not being, whatever. But I still have that fucking song like on the folder. I have like a shitload of stupid ass, because like to me, I always said and I always heard, like as a writer or as a musician or whatever, nothing is really trash, because it's like just write it, and something's gonna come, something good's gonna come.
Yeah.
But maybe it won't be that song period, but maybe that song, the melody that you kind of wrote for that song is gonna make another, another song like that is pretty fucking awesome, So you're kind of telling me right now too, like Ed Sheeran is kind of like your favorite. I can tell, like you're going a lot of how he writes and how he does. But what is one of your favorite like bands?
There's a lot of right now, I would probably say, like Foo Fighters is a big one too. I love the way that Dave writes just all the different things, and just that group as a whole, like it's very cohesive. All the stuff that Taylor does for the drums too, just kind of, it all just works really well. So I like the Foo Fighters and how they've grown throughout the years.
Well, because that first album he recorded by himself.
Yeah, exactly. It was just Dave
with Pepsmear. Basically, that's it.
Yeah, I remember he would talk like in interviews too. Like he would just write like a quick drum part, and then like they would listen back to it later, or he would try and replay. He's like, I don't even know what I did.
Just that's what he fucking does.
But that's one of them for sure. Breaking Benjamin is a big one too. I just love the way that everything is written.
I like his voice.
Yeah,
it's very different. I like bands that have a different kind of singer that like you'll always remember. So one of my favorite bands is AFI.
Oh, dude, fuck yeah.
Because Davey's voice is like, nobody can do Davey's voice. It's a weird fucking voice. And actually, the first time I heard him, I didn't like him.
Oh yeah. When's the first time you heard him?
In high school.
Oh yeah.
It was the city called The Art of Drowning, which in 1999. Okay. Which it was already late. I think it was. I listened to them like in 2001.
Okay.
But it was that CD, and my friend bought it, and I heard it, and I was like, "This is weird.
Yeah.
This is weird," or whatever. Because I was like to Linkin Park and shit like that, like back then. And then the song came out in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4.
Oh, okay.
The Boy Who Destroyed the World, which is an EP.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" And I was like, "This is AFI." I was like, "Why didn't I like them?"
Shit. Yeah.
And then I went and bought The Art of Drowning because they didn't have Spotify, kids. It was all fucking CDs and shit, yeah. And you had to fucking gamble if the CD was gonna be good or not. Because if you like one song,
there's no way.
Didn't guarantee you that the whole CD was gonna be great. So I fucking got it, and like I just fell in love with him. And they're one of like my favorite bands ever. But Davey's voice is like amazing, and I like how they've transitioned from like punk rock to like now like kind of alternative rock to like synth rock to like all this other fucking thing.
I remember the big one for, I think for a lot of people with AFI was Miss Murder from Guitar Hero.
Well, that was
Guitar Hero 3, right?
Yeah, that was in December Underground. Miss Murder, that was a huge one, which like actual AFI fans hate.
I'm sure, because it's the one that like brought everybody.
They fucking hate it. Well, and Davey didn't like it.
Oh, really?
Miss Murder is a fill-in word.
No shit.
Because he said that like Jade had like written the guitar part and stuff.
I think that's more what I like of it. Like the guitar riffs for that one are really good.
And he went like, "Hey Miss Murder, can I? Hey Miss Murder?" Because he was just like filling in for the. Yeah. And Jade was like, "Why don't you use that?" And he's like, "No, like it's stupid. Like it means nothing."
Yeah.
And he's like, so Davey says that that's the first song where he had to write around.
Oh, okay.
Around the word that he just fucking filled in.
I can see that, yeah.
Fuck, he was like, fuck, because everybody thought it was like about this like Hot Topic girl or some shit like that, and he's like, I fucking hate it. So apparently he hates it, but he knows that it's the best hit, so they'll play it.
Yeah, you just gotta roll with it. You know what's funny, to that same vein too, is fucking Sweet Child of Mine, Guns N' Roses.
No,
Slash hates that song.
Stripper or whatever?
No, it's like, they just roll with it. So like...
That's usually what happens.
Yeah.
Because I think one of the most famous tunes was Cherry Pie.
Oh yeah. It just goes, man.
That they said that that the record label said that there's no hits in this, and they're like, well, we kind of have this joke song here. Do you want to hear it? And it was Cherry Pie. And I was like, oh yeah, that's the hit.
There you go.
And that's their biggest hit, and they fucking hate it. And they're like, fuck it, why did we write that shit?
So like I remember for Sweet Child, it's literally just a guitar exercise. Like it's just a scale. Like it's not supposed to be a song. Like Slash was just warming up one day at rehearsal, and then
I like it.
Duff and them were just like, yeah, they just kind of rolled with it, and I have like a vivid picture of like Axl like running down the stairs like, what the hell is that? Let's do it.
He's like, no.
I was like, what the fuck?
Never mind. It doesn't. I mean,
that song.
it usually happens with like the hugest songs because I think when it's an accident and it's simple.
Yeah.
And if somebody tells you like just like what the fuck is that? That already means something.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're not putting that much thought into it, I think maybe that's when like the biggest hits, whatever, like come to flourish and shit.
It's almost like a backhand kind of thing, because then you'll think about like all the times that these poor guys have probably put like their heart and soul into a specific track, and everybody's like, man.
Which is weird because with Blink, I remember that this happened with Blink, one of my favorite bands too. But with Blink, there was a point in time, I don't know if you remember, where everybody was like, fuck Blink, like singing their fucking like 30-year-old guys singing about high school.
Stuff.
But now, everybody loves Blink again and shit, and they're like, fuck yeah, and whatever. And I'm like, oh, what happened to growing up? And I don't listen to this shit anymore.
We grew up and then we realized this shit sucks.
It's like, no, now you love it again? Like, nah, bro, like, that's fucking hypocritical. Because I always loved it, because I remember that, I don't know if you remember, but the transition from Blink was kind of like what is it, post-punk, post-rock. So it went from Blink to like the Strokes, Interpol, the Killers, and shit like that, and everybody was like, fuck Blink, now we're adults, now we listen to the Strokes. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, I mean, they're good too, you know, but why do you have to stop listening to something in order to continue listening?
Yeah, why do they have to be...
Like, you don't have to be an asshole to, you know...
You're not breaking up a relationship to go with your new chick, bro. Like,
or it's like, oh, my daughter already grew up, fuck her. Let me get another baby or some shit like that. Yeah. No, come on, bro. Like, that's fucked up. And I always thought, because I love everything, like, I tell people I don't have any guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Because, like, they ask me, like, what's your guilty pleasure? I was like, I don't really have one. It's not being an asshole or whatever. But, like, I listen to the Backstreet Boys. I listen to NSYNC. You know, they knew how to fucking, maybe not them themselves, but the producers knew how to write pop music. And I love it, dude. Like, whatever. I don't care. Like, oh, I'm not a man because of that. Who the fuck cares, dude?
My first CD was NSYNC, bro. I got that shit for Christmas when I was like 8 years old.
Which one?
I had No Strings Attached, I think.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, so you were, because I was already a teenager. I'm fucking old, then. How old are you?
28. I'll turn 29 next year.
You're not you're young still. I'm 36, so we're almost 10 years, but...
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. I thought you were gonna say, like, I'm 22, and I'm like,
It still gives people out, man.
I feel all this shit. Because, yeah, like, my first cassette.
Right.
It was a cassette. My first cassette was, I'm trying to think exactly. It was Maná.
Nice.
I used to like Maná so much when I was a kid.
They have good stuff, man.
But my first CD was my brother didn't like the band. And this is actually when I fell in love with drumming. And it's not a big, like it's not an intricate drummer or anything, but The Offspring. It was Smash. Mm-hmm. And that's when I fell in love with drumming, and I was like, that's when I started paying attention to, like, drums. Yeah. Because that was the first time that I heard somebody drum as fast. Yeah. Which, now I realize, like, they're not even that fast. I can do that
compared
shit
to, like, anything.
With my eyes closed, but, like, later on, you know, like, listening to, like, Slipknot, and then, like, Slipknot, like, taking me into, like, even deeper, like, darker shit. Where like they're doing like blast beats and shit, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that shit. And I see people just like,
oh yeah, like that's the one that trips me out when they're like barely even moving.
Well, because they just move the wrist. Because drumming is it's all the wrist. But I've always said like, well, if you want to fucking do a workout or whatever, you need to move. Yeah. Everything. Yeah, you use the wrist, but like, you know, when you hit, like, if you're live and you hit the cymbals, you don't have to hit the cymbals like this. You can just do like the shoulders like that. But when I'm live, I'm like, fuck this shit.
If you're on the full stage with the whole system and lights and everything, you're putting on a show.
Yeah, I'm trying to fucking like, because Taylor Hawkins does that shit a lot. He does that, and Dave Grohl, coming from Dave Grohl, like, he used to do it too. Mm-hmm. You know, he used to have his like cymbals really loose too, so that they would like do
you can see the whole
and shit. And I don't know if you know, but like the guy from the Silver Sun Pickups, I don't know if you know that band, but like he puts his cymbals like up.
Oh, he's got like the flyers.
So like he almost has to get up to hit him. And it looks fucking cool as shit. The drum set looks dumb as shit, but
when it's up
but
there,
when he's gonna fucking hit him, it's like, and you're like, holy shit, dude, like that's fucking awesome. And I've always liked like how they give like personality, just like by doing those little things.
I love just drummers in general, like when you can just break off of it, because any basic other musician can just hold a fucking beat, and most of them can't. But like I can at least do like a beat to like bullshit something. But that's why I love working with actual drummers. It's because they hear and feel all this other shit that I could never even think of. And that's probably one of my favorite part. A lot of my favorite bands that I'll just kind of jam to on the regular, their guitarists aren't doing anything too crazy. The vocalist isn't doing these crazy runs or anything. It's fun. They're writing their simple formula. But the drummer is just having a fucking blast with it. And there's all these crazy like extra just like tiny bell hits and rolls and just so much stuff that's in there. That like if I tried to play drums over the chords that were going on here, it would be the most basic shit ever. But the drummer helps bring it to life, and that's
and sometimes you hear the drums and you think that they're just doing like that. And then like if you take all the instruments out and you see the drummer, sometimes he's doing like some crazy ass shit on the hi-hat by itself, like just you're like, what the fuck? That's why Travis is the way he is.
Oh yeah.
Because Travis is like Blink. Basically anybody can play Blink. But not everybody can play like Travis.
Yeah, hell no.
So Travis like does this weird shit. And don't get me wrong, he's not like the best drummer ever either. There are way better drummers than Travis. But what Travis does is kind of like what Ringo did, just like putting all this weird shit into music that didn't really fit it, at the time. So that's how I feel like they do. That's how they become huge. It's because like, not because you're a good drummer, doesn't mean like you're gonna be popular. For example, you could be a good drummer and just play straight, or you can be like a not so good drummer but that's doing weird shit, and you'll be more because of it. Because it's, breaking the mold, doing weird shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I had a band, and I'm not gonna say the names of these guys because I want to tell the story and I don't want to edit it out. But I had a band where the guy had written a song, and he was like showing it to us, and he's like, okay, look, I wrote this song, and I already had kind of like and I was like, all right. And the way I work when I'm drumming is I like them to play it, and I hear them, and then I'm thinking in my head like, what can I do?
Yeah.
Like with the drums. And I know that like the song kind of lends itself to just do that.
Yeah.
But I was like, I kind of want to break from that. Like, yeah, I'll do that maybe for a little part, and then like move on to something different. And I was just thinking, and I was just like staring, and he's like, are you bored or some shit? And I'm like, I'm not bored, dude. I'm thinking, bro. And the other guitar was like, just let him think, bro. And it's just a simple fucking beat, bro. Like, it's just and I was like, bro, like, and I was like, all right, dude, like, whatever. Like, I'll just play the fucking dumbass fucking beat that you want. Just doing the same shit.
Yeah, and that's upsetting.
And I'm like, fuck. Now I'm like, I'm kind of used to it now. Like, if I'm a drummer for hire, I kind of have to do.
Yeah, I get you.
Unless they tell me like, hey, go
Yeah.
free and do whatever you want.
That's what I would want.
Then okay, but if they're telling me, okay, we're gonna pay you, but do this, and then they just give me the recording of it already, I'm like, okay, so fuck it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I have to do. But I do love playing beats, and I think that I tell people about, because like they say like all the drummer and the basses are like, they're not that important, like nobody pays attention to it. But I always tell people, without a bass or without a drum, there's no rhythm.
Yeah.
There's no rhythm.
There's so many foundational parts of that song that are just gone.
But they say too, like, well, what about like an acoustic drummer that's playing by itself? Like, where's the drums? I was like, what? You think that they're not fucking like counting? That's the drums, dude. You know how when you record it, you want it to be like nice and fucking and even?
Yeah.
What do you think they're listening to? A fucking click, dude? What do you think the click is? That's the rhythm, dude. That's the drums.
Everything has it.
That's what it is. It's like, come on, dude. Or that's the bass too. The basses could do that shit too.
Yeah. Or
the basses is holding down the fucking, the structure of the song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on. But I don't know. I'm a sucker for like defending bases.
No, I get you.
Because they're always put them in the bag, and I'm just like.
And I've had the opportunities to work with some amazing bassists and drummers, man. Like, it's just crazy. And that's why, like, I'll always tell them too. Like, I don't ever want a bassist to just feel like he's just stuck playing root notes, bro. Like, just
no, you can fucking go.
If they can go, let them go, man. I have the bassist that I've been working with a lot. When we used to be in a band together, he would just kind of go on all this crazy stuff too. I have some bassist friends from college that, yeah, man, they're just ridiculous. And this guy pulls out this crazy, like, 6-7 string bass, and he's just all over that freaking
with the
thing.
pedals and shit.
Yeah.
Because I know Hector G was one of our best. He's been a guest here on the show, but he was one of the bassists for this band that we had that was kind of like Rise Against.
Oh, nice.
So we were called Fire. We played at the Coliseum. We were getting pretty good.
Yeah.
But he would do this, like, he wasn't following what the guitar was doing.
Yeah.
He was like doing his own, and it was fucking badass. And when you hear the songs, if you want to hear the songs, by the way, they're on Reverb Nation.
Nice.
Those are the only way that you can get it. We recorded an EP. That's it. But you can hear his fucking his playing, and I don't know if you know any of these musicians, but it was Hector G, Randy Vega. I don't know if you know Randy.
Yep.
He was our singer.
Oh, okay.
Randy, well, Philip and me, we were in a band together, an Endless Fight, and then we kind of moved to Fire at Will.
Right.
And then Hector, he was a bassist for March of Chronos.
Yeah.
He was at the end of Spoiler, he was a bassist. And he's done a bunch of shit. Now he has his own production studio, so it's cool.
That's cool.
But Cody, he was in Fear to Sail. That was the only one. But that's an old school, so you were probably like a little kid when that shit was happening.
But I do recognize most of those band names, yeah.
But we were kind of like a super band here in El Paso because we just like from everywhere.
Yeah,
Randy Vega was by himself.
Uh-huh.
It was before he had what was it called? Randy Vega and what? Look at the Shakedown or something like that. And
The Steady Shakedown?
Oh, the Steady Shakedown.
Yeah.
That's right. So we brought him in, but he wasn't playing guitar, and he was just singing.
Interesting.
And we had some fucking badass fucking shows, and that was one of the best bands that I've ever been in. And I was, like I said, we played the Coliseum. We opened for a shitload of bands, and there's some fucking footage up there.
That's cool.
If you want to see it, but yeah, like I wanted to ask you so that we can move on. I know that I love talking about music, but not everybody's like.
I get you.
But I mean, still pertaining to music, but like, what is some of your like favorite fucking like video game soundtracks, dude? Or even movie soundtracks, because you know there's a lot of
there's a lot of stuff in there. So I think for at least original video game music, some of my favorite ones.
Don't say Tetris, bro.
I love all
that one
song. I think the God of War games are super cool because they focus a lot on that old school like Gregorian chant like monks thing, and they have like all these like crazy like bassists, vocalists go in there, and they have all those different things.
That fucking
like all that crazy shit, man. It's
that shit that like they have to learn for metal.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like what the fuck is it called? Like Hungarian throat singing shit.
The throat.
Yeah, but there's all this crazy stuff in it. But I love outside of like the metal and everything's connected. But like I love those super orchestral setting soundtracks because they move so much, and it's the same thing. And I think it's kind of like pertaining to movies. My favorite video games aren't just like the first-person shooters or anything like that. It's the games that are a story. It's a fucking interactive movie. So like I love.
So you're a PlayStation guy.
Yeah.
I can tell because those are most PlayStation games.
Yeah, well, even the Halo games had like good storylines for a while too, man. And those soundtracks were badass also. I mean,
I just feel like PlayStation kind of went more in the route of the interactive movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I like gaming. Because people get me wrong that they think that I'm just an Xbox guy.
Yeah.
But no, because like literally one of my favorite games ever is Spider-Man, for the PlayStation one.
Yep.
So, I am both, and I actually hate, which is better that we get into this, but I actually hate the whole like, oh, I'm an Xbox guy, I'm a PlayStation guy, well, I'm a Nintendo guy. Like, I
have everything too. You just play the fucking games, bro. Like, it's
if it's a game and you like it, you're gonna find a way to play.
Yeah,
you know, like, and it really doesn't matter.
Uh-huh.
I do have an Xbox like Series X right now,
yeah.
So that's my main my main thing. And I do love like the Game Pass thing, like
Yeah, that's
everything getting
awesome.
for free, kind of.
Yeah.
Playing Halo
Yeah,
right now,
exactly.
multiplayer. So I do love that. So I'm like leaning more with Xbox, but I don't hate fucking PlayStation people.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to roll with whichever one.
But people are like, oh, you fucking Xbox, like you have to. I'm like, just fucking shit.
There's always gonna be a hater for this and that. It's the same shit with like Apple and Android. Like there's always gonna be people that just like.
Oh yeah,
fucking
people
just
see the
enjoy
iPhone
it.
and say, oh, you're an iPhone. I'm like, what, bro? Like it was cheap or
Just
what?
let us live our lives, bro.
And I'm like, you know what? I edit videos with a Mac,
Yeah.
so it's easier for me to just fucking airdrop shit into the Mac.
If you're in the ecosystem, then fucking roll with it.
Don't we
But
just
like people always come in and hate for this and that. But yeah.
Stupid.
But I love all that stuff, man. Like I think to this day I can say like without hesitation that one of my favorite games was The Last of Us, the first one that came out. Because that was the first one where it was like
You're
it was
really
a
into
whole,
it.
yeah. Me and my friend were playing through it, and we remember like sitting through like, did this video game just make us feel emotions, bro? Like, like what the hell? It was such a good game. And
For
the
me, it
music,
was Red Dead Redemption. The first time that I got like really into it.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you finish it? Like
Yeah,
the first one.
the first
not
one,
the- so when he gets killed, and then you take over as a kid.
Yeah.
And you realize basically that the whole game is named Red Dead Redemption because you're gonna go avenge your father.
Yeah, bro.
Like to me, I was like, holy shit! Like, you know, I was like, and when it ended, I was sad. I was like, I don't want this shit to end.
I remember for that game, The Last of Us, you're playing through the beginning of the story, and it's like at the beginning of that whole zombie outbreak shit or whatever. You're in the house, and it's you, and there's a little girl, like your daughter, on the couch, and you have this little interaction. And me and my friend are kind of playing through it. It's like just the story. You're just kind of watching.
Yeah.
Really. And I remember looking at it, and we looked through the game case, and we're like, hey. That's
That's
not the same little girl. That's like no.
Yeah, they just started fucking killing
She
everybody.
died.
So it was like the game version of The Walking Dead at the time.
Yeah.
Because in The Walking Dead too, it was like you were falling in love with these characters and you're just fucking dying left
Yeah,
and right.
bro.
What the fuck is happening?
It was fucked.
It was the first fucking time. To me though, the first time I lived through somebody that I kind of like was falling in love and then they fucking like killed him. It was Dexter. Dexter's wife when they fucking get, and then you're like, he was barely getting some feelings and shit.
Yeah, bro.
And they fucking kill him. And it was a dude from Third Rock from the Sun.
Yeah, man. There's so much shit.
But yeah, like games like that. I also like the other side of games too, like the simple, just like you sit and play, like the roguelikes nowadays,
Yeah.
like Dead Cells, Hades, things like that you
Yeah.
just like sit down and kind of play. But what I appreciate about music and video games, now you kind of hear the whole orchestra and shit. So when you're playing a game, you know, if you're hearing it on Spotify, for example, like somebody that doesn't play games won't know it's a game soundtrack.
Exactly.
Because they just hear the orchestra. But back in the day, one of my favorites is Castlevania.
Yep.
Because this guy, I fucking forgot his name, but the composer, he wrote it as an orchestra. And then he had to transfer it into 8-bit or 16-bit or whatever it was. And it fucking sounded awesome.
Yeah.
And there's a band right now, and I don't know if you've heard from them, but they're called the Bit Brigade.
Nice.
And they do the whole soundtrack for whole Nintendo games, but live with
that's
guitars
awesome.
and shit, and like bam. And there's a member in the band that just plays the game, but he's
just there, like,
he's already perfect at it.
Yeah.
So they play when he's playing. You see it on the projection, and he's playing it, and they're
then
fucking
just
playing to
going
the soundtrack live.
That's dope, man.
It's fucking bad. And if he dies, they even play the sound of when he dies. Shit, it's fucking awesome.
Dude, that's cool.
So Bit Brigade is an awesome. If you want to hear how it actually sounds, like as a band. But I like Castlevania is like one of my favorite fucking, like soundtracks. The one for Super Nintendo, which is Super Castlevania 4.
Yeah.
And I do like the ones that are more ominous right now too. Metroid.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I like that they made you kind of like, especially in those days, made you kind of like feel scared, even though it was like fucking just like beep beep blips and boops and shit, whatever.
It's one of those. It's like the Lavender Town theme for Pokemon, like it's a
Oh yeah, that's right.
like it's just all these different little sounds and everything comes up. I was I think it was earlier this year. I was part of this online like gaming conference thing. I was one of the panelists, and I was talking about music. I was talking about music and games and the evolution of it. So we went through that whole thing. Like it all started with like all the 8-bit stuff and how it just kind of grew. When you finally got the newer consoles that could run CDs, that was like life changing for music because you just had so much more room.
DVD, basically.
Yeah, you had so much more room to actually put in data in a real
whole
track.
songs.
Yeah.
Because Tony Hawk, that's how Tony Hawk got a full fucking soundtrack, except for the Nintendo 64 apparently.
Yeah.
The fucking cartridge, but but that's how they started getting like full soundtracks. And Symphony of the Night had the full soundtrack on the CD. Like if you put it on a CD player,
it would just go.
It would just go with the music, and you're like, holy shit.
I think I remember that actually. Yeah, you could just put them in, and they would.
The first track said like, "This is a game" or whatever, and then like you would just skip to the second one, and they just started.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was fucking awesome. They could do that shit. You know? I think they kind of stopped doing this shit. They should have kept going. But
yeah.
But I mean, now we have Spotify, whatever, you can fucking find.
I'm trying to remember what game I bought. It wasn't that long ago. But I opened it up and like one of the CDs in it was just like the soundtrack for the game. And I was
they
like,
still do
shit,
some of them.
That was cool. Yeah.
When I bought Metroid Returns, which is the remake of the second of Samus Returns, it had the soundtrack, a CD. But I'm like, where do I even put this shit? What the fuck is this? Nobody uses CDs anymore. The fuck is it? I mean, yeah, like for the games and shit, but you know, like they're even going digital, all digital now, because it's like, so I have all these CDs, but my consoles are over there because I literally just download everything.
Yeah, it's over there. I have a love-hate relationship with that. I don't know.
I hate it. I like having like the Switch games, especially like the not the CDs anymore. Like I stopped buying Xbox physical, but I still buy Switch physical.
The cartridges.
Because I do like the little cartridges and stuff. Yeah. But like sometimes I'm playing and I'm like, oh, I want to play this game, and I'm like, fuck. Like I don't even want to go fucking like grab it and switch it out. It's so much easier to just see it there and just like boop, boop.
Yeah. And then with the newer consoles like on the Series X, it's just so easy to just switch from game to game now.
Yeah, well, and it has that fucking the like you put it on pause and then you change and watch a movie or whatever, and then when you go back it like stays exactly where you fucking had it.
Those processors are so much better now,
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of right now I'm playing a lot of PUBG. I come and go with PUBG. Like we just lose a lot, like me and my cousin, and then like we'll be like, fuck it. And then we'll come back. Yeah. But because like that game looks shitty, but it's so fucking fun. Yeah. Like weird shit fucking happens like when you're in it.
I love seeing that, and I like when like all the that's like what half my YouTube is just watching like the gameplay footage or like just the stupid shit that people do. Like
I'm gonna show you because because with the Xbox it has a button in the middle that just records a clip.
You just go.
So every time something funny happens, I record it because I want to do a compilation. But there was this yesterday actually. We were picking up guns and whatever. If you don't know PUBG, it's just a battle royale game. Yeah. Probably the first battle royale game.
Yeah.
But he was picking up guns and it's kind of complicated like for somebody that doesn't play it much because it does have a lot of like switching your gun from auto to semi to switching fucking scopes. So it's very customizable. Yeah. But I had grabbed this gun that had 2 scopes. And I was trying to figure out how to like change the scope. And he was right in front of me and I was trying to figure out. And he was like looking at me, telling me something, and then he like turned around and as soon as he turned around, I fucking fired. And he's like, you fucking shot me. And I was like, oh, dude. And then like fucking revive him. And then he's all mad at me, so he shoots me. And we're just like, fuck, dude, like, but like funny moments like that, like shit that happens. Like,
I live for something like that, man.
Or when you're in a motorcycle, like a little rock will like fucking hit the front and like, boom, and then you fucking go flying. You're like, what the fuck?
Like Grand Theft Auto and shit. You're just driving. It's like,
yeah, it's like so. So I love shit like that. We watch the funny compilations.
Yeah, those things are funny.
There was one where like 2 cars fucking crashed. And then like both of the bodies like fucking go up, but they're still alive, so they're like shooting at each other like other while they're falling. It's fucking retarded. I shouldn't say that word. I'll leave it up.
Yeah. And my little brother plays Warzone a lot too, and it's all the same shit. Like I just hear him like yelling with his friends and just stupid shit.
I tried to get into Warzone, but I couldn't. But I think it's like I said because I love like PUBG too much. Because I don't like Fortnite either.
Oh, you know.
But the thing about Fortnite though is like, because PUBG, like somebody new can come in and win.
Oh, okay.
Because basically somebody new can come in and if you're good at like first person shooters, you can just grab a gun basically and kind of win. just by killing like 3 people, for example, because the fucking maps are huge.
Yeah.
But in Fortnite, you can't really win if you're new.
Yeah, you have to know like.
You have to know how
shit.
to fucking build and shit.
Yeah, that's the.
So that kind of fucking sucks, because at the beginning when I grabbed Fortnite and I was like, oh, there's somebody right there, and then I start shooting at them and I immediately see like a fucking tower and I'm like, oh fuck, and then they just like, and then I'm like dead, and I'm like, nah, fuck this. I was like, nah.
I think I played Fortnite like twice, bro, and I'm as much of a gamer as I am. I'm a pretty bad gamer. Like I suck at most games, especially shooters.
Well, I'm blinded, so imagine that.
Yeah.
But no, I try my best, and I've won at PUBG by myself.
Hell yeah.
I have. And with my cousin, we won once. We have like our own strategy and shit.
Yeah.
But what I hate about how my cousin is that he tells me like, I see someone, and I'm like, where? And he's like, he's right there, and I'm like, where the fuck is right there, dude? Where I'm pointing at? Oh my god, I'm like, man.
Horrible directions.
I mean, literally on the top, it has like numbers on the fucking.
Oh yeah, you.
So you could just tell me like, dude, 355, and I'll okay, fine. But no, he just decides to tell me right there. But whatever, that's how we play, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a life-hate relationship.
Yeah, like me and my friends, we play a lot of just Switch, and we really just play Smash Brothers. Like that's our main thing.
Yeah, the soundtrack for Smash Bros. Is pretty good,
dude,
because it has all the. So have you gotten like all the DLCs?
Yeah, we have every single one. I've been trying to play Sora a lot just to mess with them. All of my characters are like the stupid like little ones. Like my main is Villager. Like he's just like an idiot. But I've been trying to play with Sora.
No, but if you know how to use them, like.
Oh yeah, no, they're like.
Cause mine is Samus with the Metroid.
Nice.
So that's the one I always go back to. Yeah, I also like Simon Belmont.
Yeah.
But I always just go back to Samus. But because I feel like that with Overwatch. I don't know if you ever played Overwatch.
Yeah.
But I always use, and everybody tells me like, oh, you're just using like the one like when you don't know how to fucking play Soldier 72, which is like he's pretty much the most Call of Duty one. Basically. Yeah. He doesn't have like weird powers or anything. But I'm like, well, bro, if I'm fucking killing 50 people
like
with it, why would you want me to change?
Yeah.
Like, you want me to be some fucking chango, is it? Like, no, fuck that. I don't want to do that. But Overwatch comes and goes too. That's how I am. I've been playing Halo. And sometimes like I fucking get in and I'm killing and like fucking and like fuck yeah, dude. And then some days I get in and I can't kill anybody.
Oh yeah.
And everybody's like super good and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? And I'm just like, fuck this, I don't know. But I love Halo, and this new Halo went back like to old school Halo.
Oh yeah.
So it feels like
that one comes out in December, right? Infinite.
December 3rd, I think.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
I'm fucking. What do you have? What do you? You just have Switch?
I have all of them. I have literally every console.
But you do have like the PS5? You got your hands on PS5?
Yeah, bro. So I was like, I tell people, I think I got the last PS5 available in El Paso, like through the Walmarts, because they even brought it to me and the box was all fucked up. I was like, hey man.
Because I got the Series X from Walmart, but it was like, they told us like, on Twitter, my wife was the one that was on Twitter, it's like this guy that like, kind of like scopes out who has it.
Yeah.
He's like, it's going to be available like at 11 this day. And I was like, fuck. And me and my wife, both of us were like, and then like I had it in my cart.
Yeah.
And then I was about to like press pay, and my wife's like, I got it, and I was like, oh shit!
Yeah.
I almost bought another one. I was like, oh my god!
Yeah, dude.
It took like 2 months to get there because I think they didn't really have them. It was like they knew the shipping was coming. But fuck it, I was like, I have it.
So I was able to get the PS5. I think within that first week, but it was like days of I have my big like gaming PC setup, so I have my big ultra-wide monitor. So I have like 4 different windows open from every site, like Best Buy, Walmart, fucking GameStop, Amazon, like everything. I had them all open there. I had the same tabs open on my phone. I had my personal laptop and my work. Yeah, bro. I was just waiting, and as soon as they went live, I was like, click, 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 click. It was like a fucking video game, bro. Annoying, but I still couldn't get it. And I remember like,
was your heart like racing and shit?
Yeah, my whole friend group was going, bro, and then 2 of my other friends were able to get them. When I was just waiting, and then I think a couple days later. I was finally able to just click, 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 and I finally like order received.
That's when I fucking did it, but some people got that shit and then they didn't get anything. They canceled their order.
Oh yeah, Xbox canceled a lot of them.
They canceled a lot of orders too. With PlayStation 2, I think was it Target.
Yeah,
I think it was Target too.
Somebody, I think it was Kohl's. Like it was the stupidest, and I was like, why would you even
Yeah, they would give you the
buying
information and shit, and then like it would they would just tell you like, oh, it's canceled, and then give you your money back.
That shit was heartbreaking, bro. This entire past year of shit like that, like of scalpers.
That's fucking sucks.
Yeah, bro.
What are they saying? Both of them are saying that, oh, we sold all these millions. I was like, where are they?
We don't have them.
Yeah.
Fucking assholes are reselling them for everything, for those and for PC parts.
But for $1,000, dude,
yeah.
and shit. I'm like, no, get the fuck out of here,
Yeah.
dude. And you know what? My cousin just went ahead and bought the Series S.
Yeah.
And it works.
It's a perfectly good
almost
console,
exactly the same, dude. It just doesn't have the fucking CD, basically.
Yeah.
But he's like, it's as fast as the Series X. It's as fast. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then the Xbox I just got from Microsoft. I did the same thing. I was just refreshing their page every now and then, and finally one was available. Let's go.
Yeah, that's how fucking. Cause I was like, but I remember we put it on the Target on the cart. Cause you have to put it on the cart. It doesn't have like a buy it now or whatever.
Yeah.
But when we went to like place the order, it wasn't in the cart anymore.
Yeah, they take it out.
And that's fucking bullshit. I was like, that's like you going to the store, putting something in the cart, and somebody else grabs it off your cart.
Yeah, man.
Like if it says it's on the cart, it should guarantee you that it's on your cart at least for like 10 minutes or something.
Bro. The whole world felt that shit
I'm
for like weeks.
Fuck, I was pissed.
Yeah.
But once we got it, I was like, all right. And then I didn't try to get a PS5 only because I was gathering more of the money and shit because I want to build more here, like more stuff. So when I had to like get this arcade over here, and I feel like when I have people in here, I have more fun with like this stuff than with like that is like the Xbox and all that stuff is for me.
Yeah, I get you.
And then all this stuff is for like my friends or whoever's here, so like we can fucking have fun and shit.
Yeah.
And it's easier if we just fucking play.
Yeah.
So I invested more of that because like the PS5 Tour right now, I'm waiting on something that I really want.
Yeah.
And it really like I haven't really like seen anything that I'm like, oh, like I really want that one.
Yeah, like that one specific game.
Because it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know, fuck. Because I remember I didn't have the PS4. And I bought the PS4 off of OfferUp from some guy because when Spider-Man came out, I was like, I really want to fucking play Spider-Man.
I have the Spider-Man PS4, like that's the one that I have.
Oh, really?
Red with the spider on it.
Well, I just bought the PS4 specifically for that game.
It.
And I fucking finished that game, and then I got the Miles Morales once it came out. Fucking finished that shit.
Beautiful.
And I even got a tattoo.
Yeah, I was about to say, you got your thing. I actually, I cosplay Spider-Man. Like I have like 3 suits.
I have the suits too. But I'm a little bit chubby now. So I look fucking Banton and shit.
Yeah. But I've done a couple things here and there. And I got the El Paso Comic Con and stuff too. Like I love doing all that stuff.
I'm what's his name? Peter Parker from the...
You're Peter B. Parker?
Yeah. the fucking panza and shit.
Yeah.
Because I have the Iron suit. The one that Iron Man gave him.
Yeah, the Iron Spider suit. I have the Homecoming one and the one from Far From Home.
And I had a regular one, but I fucking put the vest. And I put like Converse on and shit.
Like
so
Spider-Punk?
So it was Spider-Punk. I know he's black and I should have been doing but I mean, nobody knows.
When it comes to like cosplay and stuff like that, anything goes, bro.
Well, and if you're covered, as long as you're not doing like blackface.
Yeah, as long as you're not doing blackface.
Or talking like...
And then a lot of people were like super happy with like all the Disney Plus shows like Loki because they introduced variants.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's like, oh yeah, I'm just a variant of this character. I can look however I want.
Multiverse.
Yeah.
So now that we're gonna have the multiverse in the new movie, you fucking excited for that? I love Spider-Man's my favorite hero.
That trailer got over 1 million views in less than 3 minutes.
I haven't seen the fucking trailer only because I don't like watching trailers.
Oh yeah,
Because I'd rather be fucking surprised by the movie.
That movie is gonna...
I fucking love Spider-Man already.
Yeah.
Like all the ones with Tom Holland are pretty fucking amazing. I do love the first ones though with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, Tobey gave us our first role.
Maybe not the third one, but 1 and 2 are pretty good.
Yeah.
And the Andrew Garfield one were okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna say they're fucking horrible because they're not.
There's a whole thing. If you watch Kevin Smith and stuff like that, he did a real good Spider-Man breakdown where he was talking about the 3 different ones and how.
I love Kevin Smith.
Yeah,
I have the Jay and Silent Bob game for the Switch.
Dude. Kevin Smith is like, oh, bro. But yeah, he did this whole interview. He was talking about the Spider-Man and he broke it down real cool. Where it's like, yeah, Tobey Maguire was our first one. He was good. He was the older Peter Parker, but he was almost a little too. like nerdy, a little too soft with it. He didn't.
Well,
really,
he was.
He didn't have the.
He was in the high school.
Yeah, well, he
Part.
also didn't have like the attitude of Spider-Man. He didn't have like
the
fun, the quips,
and shit. Yeah.
Andrew came in and his Spider-Man was almost too cool. It was like,
and he did quips here and there.
Yeah, and he did
It's
a couple.
Not really like a lot.
I liked his. He sold the few that they gave him. He sold them pretty well.
Well, yeah, the one where he's like a knife. Oh
yeah,
no, that's
yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
He did good.
I do remember that one.
But Tom's is like the
he's
perfect,
fucking doing quips all over, man. He doesn't shut up.
He's the perfect one for all of it.
But that's why I hate Venom.
Yeah.
Because they fucking wanted to make him like it was fucking Spider-Man. I'm like, Venom is not supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
That second fucking Venom movie, I hate it so much. Like, because he's literally just fucking talking and talking. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, even in the serious moment, he's talking and saying like jokes, and I'm like, bro, it's just shut up. I fucking hate that Venom, dude, like so much. Not saying that I like the fucking what's his name?
Topher Grace's
the
Venom.
Topher Grace's Venom. Either
Eric Foreman.
Yeah, Eric fucking. But like the Tom Hardy, I like when Tom Hardy's playing
just playing Eddie Brock.
Yeah, just Eddie Brock is fine. The Venom is the one that I'm like, bro, why does he have to be like Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Why do they have to make it funny? Like, it could have been serious and who cares?
Yeah.
Or a little funny, you know, it doesn't really have to go all the way into. But fuck that one.
We'll see what they do with him, man. I think he's gonna be around for a while.
So you that likes Kevin Smith, I don't know if you listen to everything that he does, but he does a lot of podcasts a lot.
Yeah, he does a lot.
But there's one specific one that you should listen to where he just interviews Gerard Way.
Oh yeah?
But it's specifically just over the song The Black Parade, Welcome to the Black Parade.
Oh, okay.
Just specifically over that song. And it's pretty amazing because they break down how he wrote it, how like that song brought hope to like a lot of people. Like,
Yeah.
Because it's like the Bohemian Rhapsody basically of our time. But it's an awesome, and Kevin Smith didn't even really know about Gerard Way until he heard the Welcome to the Black Parade on a NHL video.
Oh really?
And he was like, oh my god, like this gave me like hope, and I was like almost crying at the end of it. Because he's really raw with his emotions and shit.
Oh yeah.
And I love that. Kevin Smith. I listened to Hollywood Babylon with Ralph Garman. What else do I listen to with him? I used to listen to the one with Jason Mewes, but they kind of started like repeating a lot of this shit.
Yeah.
And I remember growing old with Jason Mewes, I think it was
Yeah.
like that. And he just appears everywhere.
Yeah, dude.
Nobody liked the Masters of the Universe thing, and I did. And I was like, why are you giving him shit?
That one had a good following. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but yeah, I mean, I heard good things.
It's a good fucking series. It's because people want it to be like the old cartoon, and the old cartoon fucking sucks. I like the characters. I like the fucking Monillos, action figures and shit, and the Skeletor is one of my favorites, which I have too. But the fucking old cartoon fucking sucks. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah, no.
And the new one actually has a story and shit. I think what people didn't like was that it's a girl.
Oh, okay.
Like the main character is a girl, and I feel like a lot of the people that like He-Man are in their like 50s or some shit right now.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
they were like brought up like really macho and shit. And I'm like, you're the one looking at fucking big veiny guys with
the
little clothes, yeah. So I don't know, man. You know, it's not bad, but like just fucking admit it.
Yeah.
But I like that shit. I had another question. Did you ever play like handhelds and stuff like that? Like,
yeah. I always tell people. So I got I didn't own any of the original consoles myself. Mm-hmm. Everything was either my cousin or my uncle. So like the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, GameCube, N64.
So you would play in their house.
Yeah. So I play there. I spent my summers at my grandma's, so we would be there. The first console that I had was the PS2, the big fat boy. But the first handheld I had was the Game Boy Advance SP. So that was the first one that like I had.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I still have them to this day. I have the Samsung flip phone specifically because it reminds me of the fucking Game Boy. Like, it's cool. I love that whole aspect of it.
It looks like a little laptop.
Yeah, you just did it. But yeah, that was my first handheld. So all of the OG Game Boys, I eventually got my hands on the the Game Boy Advance, and then the Game Boy Color, stuff like that too. And I still have them all there in my collection. I remember when Nintendo kept evolving. That was mainly the only handhelds I had with Nintendo. I never had a PSP. My little brothers had PSPs, but I never got into those ones.
I have the Hannah Montana PSP.
Oh yeah.
It's only because it's purple.
Hell yeah.
I was like, I have this purple.
That's cool. But yeah, and then I get like all the DSs and stuff like that. So like the first DS, the big fat boy, the gray one of my friends actually gave to me because he was like, one of my friends, like his family was super well off. So he got a newer DS, I think it was like DSi. So he was like, well, I don't need the old one. Let's play Pokemon together. He just gave me that one. So that was super cool. And then yeah, I was just kind of growing with them from there. And then now we're on the fucking Switch. It's crazy.
I've sold a bunch of my shit, but there was a point in time where I was collecting, and I still have some Nintendo games.
Yeah, and I saw the Game Boy up there, the orange one.
Yeah, so I keep, but I had a way bigger collection. I kind of started selling off when it started getting too popular, because I started when like the games that I was buying were like $1, $2.
Oh yeah, now they're like
fucking hundreds of dollars.
Bro, I've been wanting to buy Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for the PS2.
Oh,
that game was like $250 right now, bro.
Well, because there's the one for Dreamcast too, and that's just fucking expensive.
Yeah,
like it's fucking ridiculous because
Yeah.
like they made literally millions of these games.
Yep.
But they're just capitalizing on people wanting it.
Everyone's getting for the nostalgia of the retro
But
stuff.
I'm like, man, bro. Like, and it fluctuates actually because like Zombies Ate My Neighbors at one point was like 150, and it went down to like 40. And I have it, but I've had it from before.
Yeah.
And I bought those boxes for them. Like if you can see the bar versus the Space Mutant. So I bought the boxes, like the rental boxes for them, and I have them like in there and shit, like my favorite ones. I have Batman and all these. But yeah, I just hated like when it started getting collectible. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like,
Yeah.
So I kind of sold a bunch of my shit.
Yeah.
But I do still have the consoles, and I even have the Retron. So
Oh, yeah.
It has everything. Like you can just play everything. But now that I have this, I don't really fucking need shit.
Yeah, exactly. And
I
then
just play everything there.
that's like the weird part too. So it's like there's a lot of like I guess like purists.
Emulations
Yeah.
and stuff.
So like you have everything now. They can just be put on a fucking flash drive and done.
And play it, yeah. Because I hacked the Nintendo Mini,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
I just put all the Nintendo games on it.
Exactly. Yeah. You can just go in, recode it, put in your own.
And then you can
software.
have save states, which
Yeah.
is way better.
Exactly. But yeah, so I have all those things, and then I felt super bad because I never saved any of my original stuff.
Yeah.
So like I had to go and like re-buy a bunch of stuff over the last couple of years. So
Well,
yeah,
my brother sold all the shit when we were like when he was a teenager for like alcohol and shit.
yeah, we would just
It
sell
wasn't
them.
even my fault.
Or I would give them away to like my cousins or my younger brothers,
Yeah.
and then Lord knows whatever happened to them from there.
We didn't know we were gonna miss it so much.
Yeah, man.
I used to have it.
And I got in like right before, like you said, like right before it started coming in again. So I was able to get a lot of this stuff back into my hands before it started going all crazy in price.
I could find games, and when I started, I could find games at Goodwill and pawn shops, and I can't anymore.
Yeah, they're gone now. Any of those like collectibles, they're gone.
Yeah.
Every pawn shop that you go to now, it's all the Maddens and like Tiger Woods Pro Golf. Like
all the
those are the
crap.
only games that are there.
But there's one that's worth a shitload of money. That's a sports game, and I think it's NCAA. What is it? Is it 2007? Because they didn't make a lot, and it was the last one I think for the GameCube.
Oh no
It
shit.
was like the very last, so they didn't do a lot.
Oh.
And apparently that fucking game like is like super like $2,000 or
Holy
some
shit.
shit like that. But I'm like, what?
That's wild.
That's weird. Like so like you
Yeah.
might have a chance of finding that one, then they don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's an NCAA.
That's just
It's
crazy.
like who the fuck? I went to a first cash pawn once, and it was like this stack of Nintendo games, and they had like Mega Man's and Metal Gear and all the Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3, and they all looked perfect.
That's badass.
And I bought them all for like I think it was like $4 each,
Shut up.
and that was before like the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then now, you see one and it's like 150. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, man, it's crazy the way it all went.
I sold the Mega Man one that was 6.
Uh-huh.
I sold it for like 65. One time that we were like kind of hard on cash, and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna start selling shit.
Yeah.
So I just started
You gotta
like
do what you
selling a
gotta do.
bunch of shit. But yeah, I still have some of the stuff. It's in there. I have Dreamcast. I have GameCube. I'm really into the GameCube right now too. I'm playing a lot of Simpsons Hit and Run.
Ah, yeah, hell yeah. I have that one. I have that one for the PS2, but yeah, they're all
I
there.
play that one, and I play the Tony Hawk's Underground. I finished all those, but I just used to love them. We do a podcast that is called Viva La Bam Bam, where we just talk about Viva La Bam
Oh, yeah.
from beginning to end, episode by episode.
Nice.
So, Tony Hawk's Underground 2 is really inspired by Viva La Bam. So I'm kind of like playing that one to just
Yeah.
so we can talk about it like later on.
That's
But I do love the music. I'm like, oh,
Oh yeah, man. The whole Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 soundtrack is like peak. Like that's where a lot of people were just exposed to that music like the first time.
yeah, like Bad Religion.
Exactly, yeah.
And fucking the Vandals were on one of those. A lot of the CKY stuff. AFI.
Yeah.
Millen Collin. There was a lot of fucking shit. But another one of my favorite bands, going back to music, and I don't know if you know them, but him.
Oh yeah, dude.
His
Hell yeah.
Majesty is one of my favorite bands. I know they're not around anymore, but I do love them.
One of the guitarists that I jam with a lot, he loves him.
I fucking love him.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I have that one, and then like, well, the one's here, but
Yeah.
watch is covering it. But this is from one of their albums too.
Yeah. So we would jam like Wings of a Butterfly, of course, like the big one. But there was another one that we had to learn too, that he loved.
There's a
Same
really
thing.
progressive album that they have. This one actually, the one that has it. It's called Venus Doom.
Uh-huh.
They sound like him, but it's more progressive. So it's not going with the verse chorus.
Yeah.
It's doing like the weirder thing. So it's a really good album. And I fucking miss them. Like I miss that they fucking broke up and shit, and it sucks.
Yeah.
But I still listen to the day to music. Another band that reminds me a lot. They're not the same, but it reminds me a lot of that kind of type of music is Ghost.
Oh yeah.
So I love Ghost. A lot of people fucking hate people that love Ghost and shit. And I get it. It's because they think they're gonna be like this fucking metal band and shit, and then they listen to it and they sound like Blue Oyster Cult. And they're like, but I love Ghost.
Yeah.
I already
That
have
was a
tickets
good
to go to.
Oh yeah.
To
That's already in a couple weeks, or is it next year?
No, it's in next year, February 20 something.
That's right.
I think. But I'm going to that shit. I love Ghost. So for me, like those are like kind of like the bands that but I do have a lot of favorite bands.
Yeah.
Like I said, but yeah, the main ones is like AFI, him. But there's a lot of like in between here and there that I'm like, fuck, I remember listening to this shit. I remember listening to that shit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
cause I don't move on a lot, and it's hard for me nowadays to like hear new shit and like really like it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn it, like I don't know. It's like I keep thinking like I'm just becoming old, and I just like it's the old shit.
Yeah.
But no, there's some things that come out, and I'm like, fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, that's fucking awesome or whatever. I did listen to a new Limp Bizkit album. I don't know if you.
Oh, yeah.
I really liked it.
That's cool.
And it's only 27 minutes, so
The whole
super
album?
fucking fast.
Oh shit.
So like the new,
I'll have to check it out.
and it sounds like Limp Bizkit exactly and shit, and it has some weird ones here and there.
Yeah.
But they're really self-aware of who they are. So he talks a lot of shit about himself.
Oh okay.
About like, oh, you still like Limp Bizkit? Like you're a fucking poser, bro. Kind of like that kind of shit. So
That's cool.
it's I do like it, and I like all the guitars that was playing and shit. They Don't Remember is another one that's like
Yeah.
huge, but they have that whole controversy with the bassist right now.
Yeah. There's always gonna be something.
Dude, it fucking sucks. I hate it because I keep being like, oh, don't do something wrong because they're gonna cancel you.
Yep. Just like that, and they'll be gone.
But They Don't Remember apparently they just kicked them out.
Yeah. I mean.
The same with the Newfound Glory guy. I don't know.
Oh yeah. That's
All of a
right.
sudden I was like, where's Steve? Because they just they didn't even say anything. Nothing, like all of a sudden he wasn't there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he was like scrapped out of everything.
Fuck.
And I was like, what the fuck? And I had to look into it. And it's like, oh, he got arrested for having like child pornography. And I was like, what? And I started looking for articles where like Newfound Glory talked about it.
Oh yeah. They're just not even.
They just like fucking made him disappear. Which is a good thing, I
Yeah,
guess.
dude,
They didn't really want a controversy.
Yeah. You don't want to bring too much attention to it. Just he's got whichever.
But I love that kind of stuff. So let's kind of like wrap it up so that we can fucking get the hell out of here. But before we go, I do want to plug all your stuff so that people can listen to you.
Right.
What is your? But before a little bit before that, what is your music mostly like?
So the stuff that I have out there right now is mainly my acoustic stuff. I recorded it's just myself, a drummer, and a bassist, just to kind of help track the things on there. The album that we recorded is just like a quick little EP. It's like 4 tracks.
Okay.
And it was more so, I took myself on a little mini tour in LA a couple years back over the summer, and I just went and I just played every open mic, every little venue that would have me. I just played for like a whole month. I was in LA just going. But I wanted to make sure that while I was out there, I already had some media.
Yeah, something to share
Exactly,
with
so I could be like, follow me, go check me out here and this. So we recorded those 4 that are on there, and I'm proud of all of them. They actually all came out pretty good. Eventually I'll re-record them, you know, add all the extra bells and whistles, but like we just kind of went through it. I was like, I need these tracks, bro.
Yeah.
But they're on there and they all sound pretty good, so you can find all of that on Spotify, iTunes, and like Bandcamp, stuff like that.
Okay.
But,
And that's all you have? You don't have a YouTube?
so I have everything there. So the music will be there on YouTube as well. So you can find everything. The easiest way is just through my Instagram, because I have like that link tree thing where you
Okay.
can go from
Yeah,
there.
you just go from there.
Yeah.
It's all your pages.
Exactly. So my main Instagram, at least for the music stuff, is Tony Ramirez Music. And then from there I have links to my personal page, my gaming page, and then of course just everything there from YouTube. So I have my main 2 things of it would be the music stuff, which is Tony Ramirez Music, and then all of my tech, gaming, Marvel, comic book, anything like that.
All the geeky stuff.
Yeah, exactly. is on my gaming page, and that's called The True Zeramar, which is just Ramirez backwards, Zeramar.
Okay.
And that's where everything else is laid out. But I have stuff on like unboxing videos, tech reviews, my gaming setup, my studio setups, all those things are on there. We'll talk Marvel stuff. I did a breakdown of that Spider-Man trailer on that one not too long ago too. And then, yeah, the music one is just all my covers or originals, live performances, stuff like that.
No, so there you go. So then you'll get a new subscriber from us, and I hope you subscribe to us.
Yes.
We'll
Pay it forward.
No, and we go hand in hand.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
kind of do
Got it.
those kind of things. Yeah, I don't show a lot of like the tech stuff like that, but we do unbox and do some reviews of like headphones, fucking, you know, the bump box. We have like a shitload of those, man. But like the arcade, we unveil the arcade there.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of those too. We don't go like really into like, you know, the like the specs and all that shit, but
Yeah.
we do like, you know, like talk about like if we liked it or not, or whatever. So we review some stuff too.
Nice.
So we do toys. We do. When he came in, I was taking fucking video of a doll. So so there you go. But I do a lot of things. Yeah, we're a little bit more horror centric.
Yeah. But it's cool. It's a good vibe, man.
But I fucking love you know, everything video games, and so we try to talk about it.
Yeah.
But you'll get a new subscriber from there.
Hell yeah.
And then just remember to follow us too at Nitro Podcast on all social media. We do have a TikTok too, but we don't put shit on it. But we do have it, and we'll start someday. I'm pretty sure. It's just committing to doing something every day.
It's a lot, bro.
So we're like, oh, should I record? But it's like, if I start recording today, I might have to do something for tomorrow.
The algorithm is mean, bro. You gotta be on that shit.
So I'm just like, but you can go fucking follow us. So Nitro Podcast everywhere, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And remember to subscribe. Remember to click the bell if you want all notifications every Tuesday. It used to be every Thursday.